gas. You a funny nigga, man. Here come my ex with all the ruckus, saying she want me back. Look, dub it, I'm out your budget. Step back, put down my bucket. I told her switch up the subject. You should've appreciated your pussy more when I loved it. I mean, I was ready to lick it, stick it, then fucking. Now fuck it. What you do, you gave it away to the public. Now listen, I ain't Mathis, I ain't one to judge it, but girl, carry on, I carry on. I don't do luggage, I'm gone. She don't understand. Show me her underwear. Look, you like Six Flags. I come by once a year. Maybe take a ride. Besides that, I don't fucking care. Let's be fucking clear. And I told her, give it up, stop it, baby. I told you. Now since I made a name, niggas wanna say my name, but I ain't gonna play these games. Dog, I'm from the gravy train. It's sunny out, I make it rain. And look here, I'ma make it plain. I take a plane to the lake in Tahoe or the Laker game, either or. Think I'm bad now, should've seen me on tour. Me a boy, I ran down on me a more. And I'm lucky the feds was bugging the buggy. That happens though when you make the Dougie more famous than Dougie, I'm saying. Shout to my nigga Fresh though, and you ain't got a clue. That's word to Ernesto. Project hallway, the 44 had the Lecto, the Blum. From the gun, almost busted drum off the echo, you hear me? Nah, I don't think you do. I don't care what you drinking, boo. I say you need a mink or two. Pink and blue, red and white, green and brown, think it through. Meanwhile, the Bentley back seats is what I sink into. Silky. When it come to this money, man, I'm filthy. We celebrate when we here, not guilty. Gunshots, y'all should tuck a roll. Check my shoes before I put them on. I don't trust a soul. I'm so fucking cold. Ladies wanna hug and hold. I'm butter, baby. I'm on a fucking roll. Fuck with me, fuck with Flea, fuck with me, fuck with me, yes!
Welcome back to It Is What It Is. This episode is sponsored by Underdog Fantasy. The app is an easy way to make some cash just by making picks on your favorite players. Underdog is available in more than 30 states, including California, Texas, and New York, just to name a few. Make sure to support the show by hitting the link in the bio and downloading the Underdog Fantasy app. They'll also match your first deposit up to $100, and you get a special pick when you sign up. I'm Treasure Wilson, aka Stat Baby, along with your hosts, Mase and Cam.
Killer, what's good, man? You back?
Yes.
Welcome back.
Thank you, man. Thank you for letting me use just like you need to use your shit for me. Pause. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy I'm back. I missed you guys.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? It's nothing like being in the studio, so I'm happy that I'm here.
Yeah.
And before we start, so I've been on a little vacation, and I was thinking about it, that Mace's last two assistants' name is crazy. His last assistant name was D King, and his new assistant name is me.
It's not my assistant.
Well, the people you roll. I don't want to disrespect me because that's my guy. But the last two niggas you've been rolling with, one nigga name is D King, and now you with a nigga named Me.
Demetrius.
You know what? I knew him all these years, and I never knew that. I never knew that. That's my nigga, Demetrius. What up, D? That's my guy, man. It's how you roll, though.
Oh, you back.
Every time I see you scrolling, I know you got something. It's cool, man. I thought that's my way of saying hello. I miss you.
Yeah. Hello.
That's what's up.
Hello. Well, welcome to the first episode of season 4. Today we have a special guest. We are joined back with Roy Jones Jr.
Roy Champ, what's up,
Roy,
baby?
what's up, man?
I'm good, man. How y'all doing?
Good, man. Good to see you, man. Thanks for joining us. Post-fight, man, Mase had a little emergency last week, so he chimed in and caught up on everything you said. So we're going to dive right into the fight, if you don't mind, Stat.
Yeah, so let's discuss the fight. Ryan Garcia beats Devin Haney by majority decision. Did the fight turn out how you guys expected?
So, you mind if I start? I just want to start by saying, Roy, I'm disappointed in you, man. I'm really disappointed in you, Roy. You're a boxing analyst.
He started off wrong.
Yeah, first day, you come fuck with us. You give us bad info, Roy. You give us bad info. First fight with us, you're going to throw us some bad info. Now, I know what you're going to say, Roy. You're going to say, I told you about the left hook. You did. You definitely was talking about that left hook, but you picked Devin to win. You got me looking bad in the streets, baby.
Yeah, Cold Cam looking crazy.
Cold Cam looking
I
bad.
came in today, Paul, to talk about that Cold Cam.
Yeah, Cold Cam. I was going on, Roy, what do you have to say about this? Giving us this information that Devin was going to win, and he didn't win.
Well, you told me to give you a winner. I really did think Devin was going to win the fight because I wasn't sure where his head was, where Garcia's head was. Right. But I said in another interview, I said Sunday morning, he'll either go down as one of the smartest guys in history, or he'll go down as a guy that needs help. And it turns out he went down as a smart guy because he knew exactly what he was doing the whole time. He made Devin kind of play it a little bit low key, like he wasn't really serious, because there was an interview that I watched before I even left to go to New York, and the guy said, I saw Devin ask, he said, I don't even know if Ryan's taking this fight serious. That bothered me. But because I'm a Devin Haney fan, I used to train Haney first. So I had to, I'm not going to go against what I taught. I taught Haney at 16 years old. So that's my man in a sense, you know what I'm saying? So I was not going to go against my man because I trained him. So how can you go against a guy that you work with? So with that being said, I was never going to say, well, Ryan going to beat him. No, I'm not going to say that. But what I was telling you, that's why I tried to come back to you now, but you got to be careful because Ryan has a really good left hook. And Ryan knows Devin very well because they fought 6 times as amateurs. That's what I was trying to tell you. You say you can't switch sides. I'm not switching sides. I'm just letting you know that there's a possibility because these guys know each other better than I know that they know each other.
Right.
Yeah, Roy, let me start by saying when I first started rapping, I was the Roy Jones of rap. You'll hear that one of my classic freestyles. So, you know,
I like
we're linked for a long time on that. And great salute out to you and all you were able to accomplish in boxing. And I'll start with this. If you train Devin right, my first question I must dispel is that people say that they fought 6 times in the amateurs. Were you there for those 6 amateur fights is where I want to start because I'm going somewhere today.
Yeah. No, I never was there. I never saw one of the fights. I didn't even know they fought one another until I got to the fight this week. I had no clue that they had ever fought before. I just met Devin in Vegas when I had a gym in Vegas back about 5 years ago. And he came and we worked out a few times, probably about a month, maybe 3 weeks to a month we worked together. And that really was about it. So that's what I knew. I never knew him before when he fought Ryan. I didn't know they even had fought before.
Yeah, and the reason why I asked that, because I did some research, Killer, and they said that though they fought 6 times, a lot of people are saying that Ryan won most of the fights when they were young. They were close, but they said when it came time to get hurt or a standing 8 count, that was Ryan getting the standing 8 counts on Devin. And they said when they came to the pros, Devin just thought he was better. You know how you grow up with somebody, you had their number all the time, and you get to the pros, and this is how it was said to me. Now, I'm a Devin Haney fan as well, so I'm definitely not throwing no shade at Bill or throwing anything at Devin because I'm still Team Haney. I want him to recover from this and do very well. But as an analyst, when we went back and did the research, countless people were, at least like 7 people told me the same story, that he beat him pretty much like 4 of the 6. So when he came into this fight, he always knew that Devin couldn't hurt him and that he could hurt Devin. What would you say to that?
I kind of felt that too because since they've been professional, Ryan always had more of a professional grade of punching power than Devin did. Ryan's left hook has always been very significant, and he told me he really learned from watching me throw a lot of time. So, and his left hook is very similar to mine. So that's why I was trying to tell y'all that day. Though I was a Haney fan because I worked with him before. I love all guys because a lot of guys look up to me, so it's hard for me to just take a side. And I had to take Devin's side because I was Devin Haney fan. I was pro Haney because I worked with him. So you can't just go say, hey, you work with the guy, but you're gonna turn on him. No, you can't do that. But I did want you guys to understand that this was not going to be easy because if they fought 6 times as amateurs, they know one another far better than I know they know one another. They know exactly what happened. We don't, but they do.
Yeah, and another thing I would like to share is that when I watch athletes train, one of the things that I would suggest for Devin just from afar is that he doesn't come to work in a Rolls Royce. Like, it's hard to be motivated when you're around like such luxurious things. When you're training for battle, you got to train in battle in tough terrain. I mean, could you say anything to that?
Yeah, I can say a lot to that because that's the only way that I do it. I have a gym of my own here in Pensacola, and it's on my farm. And these guys, they see chickens walk through my gym. They see all kinds of stuff go through my gym because I don't make it plush. Because like you just said, when you're preparing for battle, you should be in a battle situation. I think Devin has learned now because you see what the situation is, that you can't take nobody lightly, and you have to take every training session like it's like you're training for war. If you're not training for war, then you're not really preparing yourself right. Because when you're out there, that man is saying it's you or him. And I think we kind of fell short on that a little bit. So what you're saying does go back a long ways for me, and that's the only way I would ever do it.
Yeah, once I saw him show up to the hill in a Rolls Royce, the truck, they're running on the hill, I said, this is going to be a hard fight because it's a certain mindset you got to have to go into things. And another question that I had about the fight was, and this is not throwing anything on Ryan, but it's definitely something that we can see as people. Do they test athletes for drugs after the fight?
Mm-hmm.
No, I think they test them for performance-enhancing drugs. Things that could enhance their performance. I don't know that they test them for, freelance drugs or what they call it.
For cocaine. Let's just
just
say what it is. It's for cocaine.
Because that's what I was picking up. I said, he's definitely on something. I didn't know what it was, but my eye, like Cam said, got past the eye test. From when he went like this to Mike Tyson, and Mike Tyson looked at him like this, I said, "Yeah, Mike knows he's high."
We don't need. This isn't a sugar-coated show. Was he on cocaine?
Yeah, was he on cocaine? I thought he was on something more than cocaine. Honestly,
yeah. Well,
like when you coked up, you don't think nobody can hurt you. That's how he was fighting. He was like this. Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah, you don't feel that. A lot of guys do. I have heard a lot of guys doing that and getting away with it, but I don't think. I don't think they.
Yo, Roy, do you know niggas who sniff cocaine before the fight? Is that what you're saying? Do you know cocaine music?
I've heard that people have done it, right? I don't know personally, but I've heard they done it. All
right, Roy, we could go commit a crime together now, because all that's telling me is that you ain't telling on nobody.
I ain't see it, I don't see it. If I ain't see it, I can't see it, but I've heard it.
You know, Roy.
Roy from Florida too.
Yo, Roy. Now I got 3 Floridians. Yo, Roy, listen. You know a cocaine addict when you see one. Have you seen somebody from the naked eye, whether you seen them use it or not use it? If you look at somebody, have you been around the sport a long time, or maybe been in sparring or fighting or just in the gym, and you be like, nah, he's on cocaine. Yeah. Have you ever seen that?
Yes, I have.
So, okay, that's what I'm saying.
I knew it was something that was controlling Ryan, and you know, I'm a fellow advocate of religion and God and all that, but when he seemed so out of control, even when he was talking, it was like Bernard Hopkins was behind him, like, stay focused, while he was talking.
Yo, fam, in between round 10.
Keep it straight.
Yeah, in between, you're right, you're 100% right. In between round 11 and 12,
yeah.
Derek, the trainer, had told him, sit your ass down. He was bugging, talking to the crowd. Like, he was wilding, bro. And listen, I don't want to put that on nobody without actual facts.
Yeah, I'm not from a clinical place. Is either he was on drugs or is something mentally need to be adjusted. But either way, it was something.
My thing is this, and I'm not going to say that either because this is what I'm saying. And I could be wrong and you could be right. I'm just telling you from Cam's opinion, is that he knows how to utilize social media. Mm-hmm. That's why he has the following that he has. Mm-hmm. He knows how to manipulate social media. So wherever we see, we may not know if it's an act or not if you're not around them. Now, if people are around them and saying the same things, and maybe you have inside sources, I don't. I'm just saying cool. Because me, I don't like to put pedophilia, rapists, snitching, and drug abusers until I know the facts. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because once you're there, that's where you're at in my brain. Yeah. And for life. So
okay. That's really good. That's good. Because what I'm saying is from what he said. Right. When he lost the tank, he was talking about his mental health. Okay, and how he got to take his mental health serious. Do you remember that stat? So I don't like when people hang on to mental health when they lose, and then I was trolling if they win. Now, if you're gonna say you got mental issues, we're gonna definitely take soft gloves to deal with everything. But if you're running out there going crazy when you win on that same campaign, we got to draw the line. Yeah,
I mean, so we're from the draw the line era. We're not in the draw the line era.
I'm just saying for me. So that's where my comments are coming from.
And I agree with you.
If you say you're mentally disturbed and we're going to give you the peace and all that, you don't get with me to come back and say you're smoking on a Devin Haney pack.
Well, what I'm saying is that we just seen this in basketball, no disrespect, not going, what is that? Yeah. We seen Ben Simmons saying he's going through mental health and then next year it's a back nerve. So this is what I'm trying to say. Like, I don't really know what niggas is playing with. And I'm on the same ship you and I'm in the car. I'm just saying, we're in an era where morals don't always count. Yeah. So, boy, let me ask you a question real quick. Sorry to veer off. And, yeah. Do you think that this has anything to do, and look, I'm not on that bandwagon to where you lose a fight and you fire your trainer. Or
I hate when people do that.
Yeah, like, Arrow just did it and Deontay Wilder got rid of the nigga. But just asking you, do you think, Roy, that he needs to get away from Bill? And just to learn different things, because Bill been training him since he's 5'6", and I know Bill took him around the country to fight at different parts of the country, whether it's Baltimore, whether it's New York, whether it's New Mexico, all these different places he took Devin as a teenager to fight different places. But do you think it has anything to do with the training? And would you switch trainers if you were Devin Haney?
Well, that's a very tough question, and I really have to be careful how I answer that question because I'm a Bill Haney fan as well. And Bill has been there for a long time.
He's family here.
He's friend of the show.
Bill has been there for a long time. Bill has taken Devin all over the country. Bill has done a lot. So to say that he should fire Bill is not really the proper thing to say for me because how he got into where he's at now if it wasn't for Bill. Right. Now, if Bill fit there and said, you know what, Devin, I think I've taken you as far as I can take you now. I'd like to bring somebody else in that has a little bit more knowledge to help both of us go a bit further. I think that would be a very appropriate thing to do. So he probably could bring in a better trainer or somebody that's more knowledgeable that he can coexist with and make him keep going. I think that's a beautiful thing. But to just fire Bill, no, I wouldn't do that because Bill brought him to where he is now. If it wasn't for Bill, you wouldn't be in the Ryan Garcia fight. You feel me? You wouldn't be one of the youngest disputed champions of the world. So you don't just go out and fire your trainer because things don't go right. You may go out and add to the team or do some of the things you don't need and get more things that are necessary because what we do is when we lose, we start to evaluate all the negative or all the things that could have gone wrong. I don't think Bill was necessarily the one thing that went wrong. I think it was probably a lot of things adding up to that and a lot of things around the situation outside of Bill because Bill put the team together from the beginning. Bill drove the ship to where it is now. So you can't just say, oh, Bill messed up. No, Bill did get the ship this far. Now, Bill has to find a way to add something else, a new dynamic to the team to help the team go forward from here.
Yeah.
Or one
Yeah, that was a good question, Cam. And there was something I would have added to that. I think he could bring some people in. But when I look at the fight, the two fights that Devin Haney looked like he was not in the fight or didn't fight the right fight was against Lomachenko and against Ryan. And both of these times, to me, he didn't fight his fight. He fought something that tried to make him the aggressor, and he doesn't have enough power to be the aggressor, to be stalking anybody or walking anybody down. Does that make sense, or am I bugging when I say that, Roy?
No, that makes total sense. But with Loma, he did a good job of walking Loma down because he took Loma out of his game because he was so much more bigger than Loma, and he really did take Loma out of his game. Well, Loma did show some of the faults that he had, like in that 11th round. Loma had the best round of the whole fight. He just didn't do it but one round. So that kind of exposed that maybe he wasn't as strong as we thought he should be or where he should have been. But they would have to take that and collectively go back to that round and say, hey, what went wrong here, and do we need to address this issue? Because he wanted to fight, it made him say, you know what, we cool, we got past it, let's keep it moving. You understand me? And that happens sometimes too. So sometimes, to get better, you got to take a step back. Now he's at a point that to get better, they have to take a step back, realign the wagon, and then come back forward again.
Yeah, because I was thinking from Lomachenko to Regis to Ryan, each time it seemed like since that time he became a brawler, and that's not how he got here. That was my assessment.
Yeah, you're 100% right there.
So I didn't want to interrupt. I know I asked last week. So let me ask you this. Haney wants to run it back. To me, that doesn't seem too smart right now. And Ryan said he's not coming back down because he can't make that weight. What do you see for both of them next? Not in the future, absolutely the very next thing for both of them. What would you recommend?
Well, boxing is a crazy sport right now, and to be honest with you, people want to see Ryan go back and fight Tank Davis without a rehydration clause. Tank was smart. He put a rehydration clause on Ryan because I guess they're all aware of the size advantage that Ryan has when he blows back up. I really wasn't aware of it, but now I understand why he put the rehydration clause on it. They don't want Ryan to go back as big as he gets because apparently Ryan gets pretty big. I knew Devin gets pretty big, but Ryan got bigger than Devin did, and those 3 pounds helped him get bigger than Devin did. So that being said, and with Ryan being the puncher that he is, you got to figure out a way to either take his punching power from him or you got to find a way to outmaneuver him during the fight. Now, key thing that Devin did.
Hold on real quick, Roy, real quick, because I want to elaborate on something you said before you answer the question. What do you think about that? Because when fighters are fighting at 140 and they balloon 20 pounds up the next day, how do you feel about the rehydration clause? And do you think that it should be implicated more, or you just say, hey, that's the way it's always been. If somebody balloons up to 20, 25 pounds in a day, so be it. I just want to touch on that. What do you think about that?
Sorry, I'm old school, and that's why I always accredited myself as pound for pound the best, because 20 pounds, 15 pounds, 30 pounds, I didn't give a damn. You understand me?
That shit,
but everybody didn't have a boxing technique or skill set that I had. So for guys who don't feel like they are equipped to handle that, they have to put in these rehydration clauses to make themselves equivalent in the fight, to make the fight kind of more equal or give themselves a better playing field than the other guy. For me, I didn't care. I want you at your best. So if you're better 20 pounds heavier, please put those 20 pounds on and come on back to me. And let's talk about that. You know what I mean? I want to talk about it. Let's work with that, because whatever makes you be the best you can be, that's where I want you at. But nowadays, as we see, people are different. Boxing has changed. Everything has changed. The landscape has changed. Like we just said earlier, we're from a different place than these people today are. So with that being said, guys now know how to take the rehydration clauses and play with it to keep themselves closer to the same weight so that they don't win at a disadvantage. Right. Me, I didn't care about disadvantage. I thought you going around with me, period, you was already at a disadvantage. So But that's
Talk
me
that
and
shit.
that's
That's the Roy I know. That's the shit I like to hear. That's the shit I like to hear right there. I need you. Whatever's gonna be the best you.
That
okay.
form.
Okay, whatever's gonna be the best you for this ass
we
whipping.
don't want no excuses.
Yeah, that's what I want. But I'm sorry to interrupt for you answering the question. I just want to see how you feel. So you was in the middle of saying that a lot of people want to see Ryan go back to Tank, and I guess you was
with no hydration.
Yeah, without
the because if you go up 30 pounds, that's your advantage. You should be, if you can put on that far and go back up that much, that's your advantage. You got to work hard to get down and make that weight, and then you got to go back up that far within 24 hours. So if you can do that, then you should be allowed to take advantage of that. If I can do that, you can't, then you may be not as good as I am, or maybe you should be fighting another weight class lower than where we at. But if you're in my weight class, don't tell me how much I can go up if I make weight. Now, the fact that he didn't make weight, that's a different story, because a lot of guys take advantage of that too. They know that they're bigger than the other guy, so they come in heavier on purpose so that they can have a 3-pound jump to start with. And they know both of them will go up 20 pounds, but he may go up 23 pounds now because he had 3 pounds to start with over Devin. You know what I'm saying? Right. And that's a factor if y'all don't match up skill for skill or pound for pound is power. You know what I'm saying, man? Ryan already definitely had the power advantage. So if they were the same weight, or Ryan could be bigger than Devin, it's definitely going to work to Ryan's favor, because, like I said before, Ryan was always a better pro puncher than Devin was. Ryan's actually a better pro puncher than most people, with the exception of Tank. But Tank felt like he couldn't rehydrate as high as Ryan could before the fight, so he put a rehydration clause on Ryan. And like I said, that probably had a little bit to do with it, but people want to see what happens if he doesn't have a rehydration clause. Do they fight at 135? Do they fight at 140? Ryan said he can't make 140, so he definitely can't make 135. So if we see that fight happen, it'll have to be a catch weight which will be above 140, and Ryan does not need a rehydration clause, because apparently it takes away from Ryan.
So what do you think for Devin next?
Devin got to go back to the drawing board, because he got to fix a few things. One of the things that he has to fix was, he knew, just like Tank knew, that Ryan is known for a left hook. You don't allow Ryan to hit you with a left hook at all. And I got a cousin that don't box, and he came to me right away. His name is Tony. Tony came to me right away and said, "You know what I worry about, Roy?" I said, "What?" He said, "A lot of times when Devin jabs, his right hand is either down or his back too far, and that's going to expose him to Ryan's hook." I said, "Yeah, that's very deadly. That's very dangerous, because Ryan's hook is his best weapon." And true, lo and behold, that was the first thing he dropped. Devin stepped in with a big jab, put a hand back, and the hook caught him. And that's crazy that my cousin, who don't box, but he's been around me his whole life, so he does no boxing. Right. He literally picked it out right away, and that's the first thing that happened. And that's scary that it happened like that, because I figured that we all know that Ryan has a left hook. I mean, you don't let Ryan, I don't care how much you weigh, how big or how small you are, like Tank said, you don't let Ryan hit you with left hook, especially early. Now, to Tank's credit, you got to know this too. You have to see how guys lose and how they win. Tank came in the first 2 rounds, he just moved around. He didn't engage with Ryan. Why? Because, Ryan's ultra powerful. Ryan has a takeoff that's out of this world. Ryan is a very explosive puncher, especially with the left hook. So he gave Ryan 2 rounds to get some of the energy off him. He just stayed around him, moved around him, boxed, grabbed him when he got close. When he figured out a flaw in Ryan, by the 3rd round, then he exposed that flaw, and he got Ryan real quick and got Ryan down. That kind of took Ryan out of the fight, because it shocked Ryan. Devin, on the other hand, he didn't do that to Ryan. He came right out and made a macho thing with Ryan, and you can't fight with your macho. You got to fight with this. And I think that might have been the biggest mistake we made.
Yeah, he got caught with a left hook first round.
Yeah.
And then he was just waiting for the left hook the rest
30
of the fight.
seconds into the fight.
Right.
That's why I say that's the biggest mistake he made. He didn't go out there and respect that left hook. See, what happens to us sometimes in amateur boxing, we have bigger gloves and headgear, so we lose count with the fact that this guy's an exceptional puncher. Ryan's an exceptional puncher, especially with the left hook for any weight class. You understand? Ryan can knock out middleweights. Ryan can knock out light heavyweights with a left hook if he hit him, because he has an explosive left hook. That's what made me be able to go all the way up to the heavyweight division, because I was explosive. When you're explosive, you can do things that normal people can't do. And with 8-ounce gloves and no headgear, the left hook is going to be much different. So if you was able to give him an 8 counts in the amateurs with headgear and basically 12-ounce gloves, imagine what you could do with no headgear and 8-ounce gloves.
So when you say, last thing from me, and I don't know if Mase has one more thing, when you say back to the drawing board, what does that mean take a tune-up fight. What's the plan when you say that?
That means go back to the board, get your tune-up fight, get somebody in to help you out with your punching situation, because to deal with Ryan, you're gonna have to be as explosive as he is, or almost as explosive. Now, to Devin's credit, Devin could have stopped at any time in that fight. He was not having his way, and most time when a bully can't have his way, he usually gives up. Devin didn't give up not one bit. Devin kept coming harder. I mean, he just kept coming. That's what you want to see. You know, he got the inside. He got everything it takes to be a world champion. Now, with the skill set, he got to go out and recapture some of those things to bring that skill set up to match that heart, because he showed you he has all the ingredients that it takes to be a world champion. He definitely has the heart. You understand me? Though he knew Ryan had a killer hook, he kept coming after Ryan. And that's very big for me, because it shows that he wanted it that bad, and he left it all out there in the ring. He gave us exactly what he's supposed to give us. You understand me? And that says a lot for Devin. So when I say go back to the drawing board, go back, tighten up a few things, like the footwork on the left hook, the hand up with the jab. These are little things that need to be tightened up before you fight Ryan. If you go back and get a trainer who understands those things, tighten them up, then he take a tune-up fight, make sure you got it together, then you come back and fight Ryan again, because you and Ryan are going to have the same type of professional career as y'all had as amateur career. Y'all fought several times in the amateurs. If y'all do play your cards right, y'all will probably fight several times as professionals.
Yeah, I really thank you for your insight. I think he need 2 more fights before he fight Ryan, because he was just dominated too much. I know a lot of times the body recover, but the mind doesn't recover as fast as the body does. Can you speak to that?
Yeah, the mind doesn't recover as fast as the body, especially when you get outdone. But here's the thing. Did he really get outdone, or did the left hook just prompt all that? Because, truthfully speaking, he wasn't getting beat in the fight. He wasn't necessarily losing the fight until the left hook started landing. When the left hook started, well, the first 45 seconds, yeah, he got in trouble. But after he got beyond that, the second round and the third round, he did pretty good. Then I think he got clipped again about the end of the third or fourth round. Time the hook came in, it took it back down. The hook was the neutralizer. If you take the hooks out, then he got caught with, especially one time, like the referee was about to break him, and Ryan threw a small up and came hook and caught him that he wasn't ready for. So it's like, if these punches don't happen, Devin probably wins the fight. You understand me? But the fact that those punches were able to land is what really catapulted Ryan to be able to get up on the next level and keep landing the hook at the right times to give him the lead. So about the last knockdown, I looked over and told a guy next to me, I said, well, that last knockdown probably just cost him the fight, because he was doing good up until he would get caught and get knocked down. Those knockdowns were the main thing that gave Ryan the victory. And if Devin could get away, if you take those knockdowns out, Devin wins the fight easily. But the knockdowns do count in pro boxing. So, yeah, he needs 2 fights to get it all back together. Probably. He maybe can do it in 1, but I would take 2 just to be sure. I agree with you on that, Mase. If you got to get somebody who understands and can help you be the best you that you can be. Because even the best you that you can be is going to struggle with Ryan, because Ryan is the best puncher, probably pound for pound in the division. Ryan can punch. Tank is a big puncher. Tank gave Ryan respect for 2 rounds, because he didn't want to go trade with Ryan. He understood how powerful Ryan is. So Ryan is one of the most powerful guys in the division. We have to understand that. And then understanding that, you don't rather just go at Ryan right away, or that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
My opinion is that, and you're right, Roy, one of the judges had a draw. I had Ryan winning the fight by a point. Because to me, he won rounds 2 through 6. And he won a few rounds after that. And those rounds in between the knockdowns, to me, he was winning on points. But like Roy said, the knockdowns was just too much. And to be totally honest with you, the ref might have saved Devin in the 7th round, to be honest with you. He was falling all over the place. Yeah. He actually lost the point because he hit, and I'm not disagreeing with losing the point, but it was a lot of saving going on. But if we're going strictly off points, I had Ryan winning by 1 point because I gave the last round to Ryan. And I seen one of the judges' scorecards had it at 112 apiece. But I would say is this, and this is just my opinion, I would leave Ryan alone. He's not coming down to your weight. Mm-hmm. He's too strong. I don't think that you have the power to hurt him. And I don't know if you're willing to outbox him because of what he did to you.
Because it's mental.
Right. What I would do is I would take a tune-up fight because that's the smart thing to do. And I would do Shakur because he's not a big knockout puncher. He's a great boxer. He's technical. He's very skilled, very defensive-minded, but he doesn't have a big knockout percentage. And Ryan's going to hurt somebody. I think a better fight. Yeah, and I think to me,
Shakur.
No, my opinion. This is my opinion. Now, look, Ryan may be past it because this nigga just got knocked out again.
Yeah.
But selling the fight, he knows how to sell it.
Yeah.
He's a big puncher. He's a big welterweight, but I'm talking about if he's willing to move up. Ryan and Rolly, I think, would be a good fight next just for Ryan to have a quick fight to wait. And I believe after—
what weight?
That's the question, though. Ryan's not coming back down. I'm trying to see.
Yeah.
Because Rolly is a big puncher. His chin is just weak. I was scared when Rolly fought.
I would like to see Ryan versus Keith Thurman.
Yeah, well, Keith Thurman, he come around when he want to come around, man. That nigga, he's not consistent, man. You know, the world was in Keith Thurman's hands, man.
I'm saying, but that would be an interesting fight. What do you think, Roy?
Ryan would be interesting against anybody because of his punching ability. He has a very explosive punching power. He's very exciting against anybody as long as he's allowed to also rehydrate up and feel comfortable. Apparently, when he's not comfortable, his mental is not really strong enough to deal with it because that's why he said that when he had the rehydration clause, he couldn't deal with that. You understand me? But you see him without the rehydration clause, he's a different animal. And even he said himself, he wasn't even in the best shape that fight, and he probably wasn't. But he didn't have no rehydration clause, so he didn't have something mentally working on him. So if you're going to fight Ryan, you got to fight Ryan, but you got to put him in a situation where you got something working against him mentally, because physically, if he's comfortable and happy, he can beat most guys, even not in the top shape, because of that punching power.
Do you think he beat Thurman, though? Honestly, Roy.
I don't know. It depends on how big he can get and how physical. I haven't seen him and Thurman next to one another to see how physical, how close they are in size. The physicality of it is what's going to determine, because both of them have big left hooks. But if Thurman is much bigger than him, then his hook is not going to have an effect on Thurman that Thurman's hook going to have on him, and that's what's going to determine who wins the fight.
Yeah, so that's kind of what I'm recognizing with boxing. Anybody could beat anybody at a certain weight. That's what it seems like right now. You just got to put them at a weight that is to your advantage.
Well, Floyd was a master of that. That's why he fight niggas at catch weights. Even Canelo. You know, Canelo sit there and talk all that shit. Meet me at 154, nigga. All right, you want to talk crazy? Meet me at 154. Let's see how that work out for you.
You at 147.
Yeah, no, I'm saying he fought Canelo at 154, but he had to come down. Canelo running around here 180 when he not fighting. So that being said, then they say that Roy Jones not the pound greatest. How? Roy didn't give a damn about no catch weight. That's right.
Roy gave John Reed 20, 30 pounds and said, I don't care how much you weigh, I'm just going to be at 200. Bring them 226 or 230, however it is. Bring it on, and I'm still going to beat you. You understand me? I ain't want catch weight for nobody. Bring me the best shoe. If the best shoe is at 195, bring me that shoe. If the best shoe is at 235, bring me that shoe. Whatever you want, whatever you is the best shoe, that's the you I want to whoop. I don't care nothing about no catch weight, because I was campaigning to be pound for pound the best boxer ever. Now, you go all the way up to heavyweight, you win. When you lose the weight, it takes away from you. Quite naturally, that's a sacrifice you're going to make. So when you go back down to 175, you took off 25 pounds of muscle. No, you're not going to be the same. And you still use your heart and got through the first fight with Tarver strictly on heart. You didn't have no energy. You showed your heart. You understand me? If you stop at that point, you go down in history as the pound for pound best fighters to ever do it, because no fighter has ever turned professional at 154 and became heavyweight champion of the world. Why? Because without them doing these catch weights, they can't just beat anybody. I did that. So am I still not pound for pound the best because of what happened after that? They don't say Dan Marino not one of the best quarterbacks. They don't say Michael Jordan not the best basketball player. They don't take this stuff away because of what he did. They like, but they want to take me and say, oh, because he did this. No, now he's not pound for pound. Which one would whoop me in my prime? None of them. So, you know what I'm saying? But it's all good.
Let's go, Roy.
Listen,
Roy, that's why I was the Roy Jones of rap. I feel exactly like you.
You see where I'm coming from? It's what it is. When it comes down to it, who stood on the pavement and took whatever came up the block? You understand me?
Yeah.
Whatever showed up on the block, you took that. That's pound for pound best.
First of all, hold on, Roy. Now listen, I watched live when you beat Ruiz. I watched it live, nigga, because I ain't gonna lie. You was my favorite growing up for years. And I said, bro, because Ruiz was good. I forget who Ruiz beat, but niggas was surprised, like, damn, Ruiz is all right. And when you went up to fight
heavyweight,
What?
He was the only guy that dropped Evander Holyfield legitimately.
Right.
Dropped him with a straight right hand. Not many, even Mike Tyson never dropped Holyfield. Lennox Lewis didn't drop Holyfield. Right. John Ruiz, Riddick Bowe, and I think Burt Cooper, only three guys that really ever dropped Holyfield with a one-punch shot, and maybe James Hunter with a body shot. But to the chin, only them three people.
Yeah, so that's what I was saying. I'm like, damn, Roy is crazy. It's like
that was crazy.
Yeah, no, because I was saying I watched the fight live and I was scared for Roy because I was like, this nigga look. It's like one of them boxing matches like Rocky III almost when Hulk Hogan was against Rock. Like he just looked really. Now Roy, you was Diesel, I seen it, but you was just small, and I'm like, oh, he fucked this nigga up. He fucked Ruiz up. So what I wanted to ask you was, who's saying you wasn't that nigga? Who's
saying that,
Who's
Roy?
saying this, Roy? Who said you wasn't the best nigga, pound for pound? Who's saying this?
The boxing community always still questioning who's the best ever. They still question
they see them TBE hats, huh?
And that has diluted their vision. They forgot. That's what the song said, mate. Y'all must have forgot.
That's my shit too.
You understand me? Did y'all not see what this man did? This man went from 154 all the way to the top. Nobody that's ever dead or alive has ever accomplished that. And y'all say he not the best pound for pound.
Dead or alive, Roy.
How?
Roy, let me add something to what you're saying. You said they said you don't beat nobody. Because that's because you make them look like nobody.
Not to cut you off, I asked him last week, boy, tell him what you told me. Yeah, that's what I told him. Yeah, that's a fact. Well, listen, Roy, I thought you was the best when I was growing up, and I'm a big, big fan. But what I'm taking there is real quick, and I'm not trying to stir the pot or start a frenzy, anything, but it's conversation. It's all great conversation. What you're saying is, and I noticed you got a little hype when I said Floyd needed the catch weight. And that's when you jumped up and you was like, yeah, did I ever need a catch weight? So are you trying to say basically that you are the best TBE ever because you didn't have to do the little tricks of the trade. You didn't have to do catch weight. If you was a light heavyweight, that's where I'm coming to get you at. If you was a heavyweight, that's where I'm coming to get you at. I actually seen an interview with you one time when you was commentating on HBO and you said, well, I left the middleweight title with Bernard Hopkins. He could do his thing in that division because I had bigger fish to fry. I don't got time for all that. Are you saying you are TBE the best ever?
I ain't gonna say it, but if you go ahead and look at the stats, what they tell you?
Roy, you gotta say it for me, Roy. I ain't gonna lie. Hey, Roy, I'm the Roy Jones of rap. You gotta say that for me, Roy. Come on now.
I am pound for pound the best ever because, like I said, who dead or alive turned professional as a junior middleweight and became heavyweight champion of the world? Not Mike Tyson, not Muhammad Ali, I gotta be one of the best ever, and I'm never gonna put myself above Ali because without Ali, I would never start boxing. So in my mind, Ali's always gonna be pound for pound to go because he inspired me to be what I became. But right after Ali, I'm gonna put myself number 2. Yes.
I ain't mad at you.
That's the list I got. That's the list I got, Roy.
And listen, Roy, I wouldn't expect nothing less because I was starting to get disappointed with you. I didn't hear the confidence that I'm usually used to hearing.
I said
that's
Roy
what I
must
was
have
waiting to hear.
turned Christian or something. He's too humble for me.
Roy is very humble, but Roy just don't like to stir the pot because people think Roy hate on people. Roy ain't hating on nobody. Roy just telling y'all the facts. Who else, like I said, dead or alive, went from 154 to 200 to heavyweight and didn't give a damn about no catch weight. Y'all beat me wherever you best at. That's where we gonna fight at. Whatever you best at, that's where I want to fight you at. That's where I was. Whatever weight class you feel best at, just tell me where I gotta be. Close to where I gotta be to make you feel comfortable. Cause we want you comfortable. We don't want me comfortable. We want you comfortable. Cause the pound for pound bad as ever in his prime, he don't need to be comfortable. He's comfortable anyway. So make you comfortable, and I tear that ass up. That's who I was.
That's what I was looking for this whole time. I don't know where this Roy been for 2 episodes. But this is what we've been looking for 2 episodes. Now last thing, Roy. Like you said, last thing, but
they put Roy in Jordan gear. He was the first boxer in Jordan gear.
Man, listen, man.
Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Come on, Roy.
Why?
Yeah. This is not for basketball, Roy. This is GOATs endorsing GOATs.
Yeah, that's all.
Thank you.
No problem. No problem. Last thing I want to know, Roy, is this. When you got disqualified for that first loss of your career, and I watched that as well, and y'all had the rematch, quick. Why'd you whip on him like that? He didn't disqualify you. You had to beat on him like that in that first round and punish that guy like that because you lost by disqualification. I felt that was bullying. What happened with that?
Okay, I do understand that, and I do appreciate that. Let me start by saying that guy, he a really nice guy. He understands now that, he gets mad every time he wants to be busy, so I don't like to go back because he gets in the feelings about it. But the problem was, I'm going to keep it real with you. The problem was, not only did they disqualify me, but after they disqualified me, he was very disrespectful to me. He went and started talking about he was going to come to Pensacola, drive his cars around my city and do this and do that. Like, you really beat me. Wait a minute, man. They gave you my title with your face in the mat. You didn't really beat me. So it kind of made me a little bit, gave me some bad taste in my mouth. When I get that bad taste, I turn to a different person. So I told him at the press conference, I said, tomorrow night or Saturday night, all I'm going to do is refight the last round. Because in my opinion, he quit the last round. But now, he don't have to quit. I'm going to show him what will happen to you if I hit you with my punches for real. And that's all I did.
R.P. Griffin.
Yeah.
That was bad, man. Roy, thank you so much, man. And we look forward to having you back. This is what we was looking for, man. This is what I'm talking. So we have officially, our new boxing answer says he's TBE. Shout out to the best ever, he says. Pound for pound, man.
I appreciate that. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Roy. We appreciate you. Salute, man.
Home team.
Thank y'all for having me. Good to see you again, mate. It's been a long time, brother.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Roy, for being here. We're going to go to break. When we return, y'all, it's NBA playoff time. Round 1, game 1. We're going to discuss the Clippers versus the Mavs.
She called this thing about toxic. 4 years and counting. Got you feeling like an option. Maybe I'm my own problem, babe. She tired of hearing I don't know. What's stubborn in me won't fall. Dealing with this thing called trust. But she really thinking about it. She wanna be free. Why am I here? This woman wanna be free. Hell, I don't wanna see her walk away. I wish somebody told me the rules. Disagreements let her win, and it's cool. Even when I'm right, this ain't about you.
Welcome back. Now let's get into our Underdog Fantasy picks of the day. Today, the Lakers will play the Nuggets. Underdog Fantasy has Jokic at 8.5 first quarter points. Do you have him higher or lower, Mase?
Higher.
Lower.
Okay. LeBron James is at 5.5 first quarter points. Do you have him higher or lower, Cam?
Higher.
Higher.
And Anthony Davis is at 12.5 rebounds. Do you have him higher or lower, Mase?
How many rebounds?
12.5.
Lower.
I'm going higher, of course.
Okay. Download the Underdog Fantasy app and you can make your picks too. So we have a lot of games to cover today. Clippers beat the Mavs 109-97 in game 1. This was without Kawhi. So looking at the score, yes, we know that the Clippers won, but which team do you think is stronger? And then what is you guys' general thoughts about the game?
I'm I'm really not surprised when it comes to the Clippers. I'm really just looking forward to how Harden keeps this consistency when it gets to the semifinals. This is normally where he looks good. He looks good here, and he normally plays good here. I'm really looking forward to him being this type of player in the finals or in the Western Conference final or even the semi-conference finals. I think as time goes on, something happened. I'm not quite sure what it is.
For me, I'm more disappointed with Dallas. This was definitely an opportunity to steal a game. Kawhi wasn't playing.
Yes.
And it's not about Kyrie or Luka, it's about the pieces around. Kyrie, I believe he finished with 31 points. Luka finished with 33, if I'm not mistaken. And that's what they're there to do. They both superstars scored 30 points. It's about Jason Kidd figuring out the pieces to the puzzle and stealing a game on the road. And this was the game to steal because even though the Clippers have not been honest about Kawhi Leonard's injuries for years, they always lie. Oh, it's just that. Kawhi been out for 2 weeks before the playoffs started, 3 weeks possibly. And it's probably more serious than they're leading on. But to me, this was more about Dallas not stealing this game. And I'm upset about it for them.
Yeah, and I think if they don't get Kawhi back, they won't be able to sneak through the Western Conference Finals.
Okay. Moving along, the Heat beat the Bulls in the play-in, eliminating the Bulls out of the playoffs. They moved on to play the number 1 seed, the Celtics, but lost 114-94. Do you guys think the Heat will last?
Stat, you love you some Miami Heat, Stat.
I do when we're winning.
Yeah, you look so happy when they're winning. You're like a whole different person. But, I think they're doing pretty cool, but, all fantasies come to an end. Yeah, I don't see them winning without Butler. They may pull it off for a few games, but they're on their way out.
I thought this would be a real interesting matchup if Butler was available. Without Butler and without Terry Rozier, no, you're not winning. It's not going to happen. Without both of them, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
I thought that would be really, really interesting with Jimmy Butler because it seems like Jimmy Butler pretty much knows everybody when it comes to playoff Jimmy. I think playoff Jimmy's a real thing, pause. But he's not available and Terry Rozier not being available, no, I don't think that Miami's going to last in this series. And we have to realize we have Tatum, emerging superstar, Jaylen Brown, the Batman to his Robin, pause, just got paid. But it's 2 other players that I believe that people are not paying attention to. And not saying they're not paying attention to them. It's Porzingis and it's Drew Holiday, who was just signed an extension with Boston, to where they may feel slighted, especially Drew Holiday. Porzingis, they've been saying he's going to do this, going to do that since Phil Jackson got him with the Knicks, and he's always hurt. He's never available. So now he's playing meaningful games in April and possibly May. And he might be like, yeah, now what, nigga? Especially Drew Holiday. Oh, y'all traded me for Damian Lillard. Word. I ain't want a chip here. Bet. So now I'm fucking a can of beans. Kick me to the curb. So I believe those 2 players outside of Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown actually are playing with a silent chip on their shoulders. That's not their personality. But as basketball players, a former basketball player, I know when you want to prove something to somebody and prove somebody wrong. So those 2 players I'm keeping an eye on throughout the playoffs because I believe they want to show niggas, yeah, you got rid of me. Now look, my opinion.
Yeah. Well, did you mean to call Jaylen Brown the Batman to his Robin, or were you calling him Robin?
I was saying, me personally, I call Jason Tatum Batman, and I say Jaylen Brown is Robin. Pause.
Oh, okay.
But I'm just,
you just said it the other way, so I was just making sure.
Yeah. I know. I'm sorry if I confused anybody. I'm calling Jason Tatum Batman and Jaylen Brown Robin, but Jaylen Brown just got paid like he was Batman.
Yeah. That's true.
Million.
I think a lot of times, and we move on, but Jaylen Brown is really the Batman.
That's a good discussion for later. And then I can't disagree with you guys' points. The Heat just doesn't have a healthy team right now, so I don't really have high expectations for them. But if the Celtics some way find a way to lose, I don't think I will ever be able to take them seriously with that team because there's just no reason why that they should not win. Okay, so moving along.
Down the Celtics because you're taking on both your team dad, man.
No, I'm just saying, like, if they lose, that's crazy. Yeah.
You were talking about the Celtics.
I was, and that still stands. I still have a favorite team regardless, but if they somehow manage to lose, that's crazy.
So if they lose, let me speak into the mic, pause. If they lose to the Heat, can we just cancel this whole they got time stuff? Remember me and Cam was talking about that earlier in the year, Tatum saying they got time?
They don't have time. The time is now.
If they lose with this team, there's no more time.
Yeah, ready to say it right here. We cannot, I can't speak for them. I can't take y'all serious if y'all lose to the Heat. And that's my team, so that's saying a lot. Okay, so the Pacers lost to the Bucks 109-94. All 35 of Dame's points were in the first half. What did you guys think about that game? And then are you guys confident in the Bucks?
Dame got his get back, I will say that. Shout out to Dame. Dame, you've been listening to us. You got your name back because this light-skinned dude running around talking about he owned you and he got you on timeout. So I'm glad you got busy this time.
Yeah, look, before the game started, I was watching it with a few people, and I said before this game started, Giannis is out. This needs to be Portland Trailblazer Day. This is your team now. I'm just saying for this particular scenario, we need Logo Lillard. And that's what he came out to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I actually watched the whole game. You sat there and you seen him wanting the ball, running to the ball, begging for the ball, saying, yo, you know, he caught a heat check, so he wanted the ball. And I hadn't seen that in Dame the whole season. Mase alluded to it throughout the season. And I never wanted to talk about it because, you know, we on It Is What It Is. We don't hide facts or anything like that. But I felt Dame did me a favor journalism-wise, and I never wanted to cross any boundaries. But Mase said it, and the reason I'm going to bring it up now is because Dame said something about it. So now that Dame said something about it, I'll talk about it.
Yeah.
And he said it's not easy. With the divorce he's going through and not seeing his kids every day like he usually sees his kids. And it's been really rough. And he's been out there without his family in a new city that he's never been at. So it may be affecting him a little bit on the court, which Mase has called since the beginning of the season. Like I said, I just didn't want to dive into his personal business. But since he mentioned it, it is what it is. So it was really good to see him come out and be old Logo Lillard and not have to defer, because a lot of times when you come into a team with a superstar, not just an all-star superstar, you defer, and two superstars trying to figure it out also sometimes can't coexist. So it was good to see him have a good game. But everybody had a good game. Portis was doing his fucking thing. Middleton they played a very
Middleton showed up.
Yeah, they played a very well-rounded game. So shout out to Milwaukee. We'll see if they can sustain this, and we'll see how the series goes in the next game.
Yeah, definitely agree. And then OKC beat the Pelicans by 2 points, 94-92. Zion was out this game, but if he was in, do you guys think that this would have been a very different outcome?
Nah, OKC is on a roll.
For me, possibly. I seen this game as well. They look like deer in headlights. What's really dope is that OKC, I forgot what a great atmosphere that city is in, because, you know, everybody wears the white shirts. It's almost a college atmosphere when it's playoff. And I'm like, oh shit, I remember KD and Russell Westbrook. This fucking city is dope when they're winning.
Yeah.
And, you know, niggas get there and wear what they went on. Everybody puts their shirt on. It's a real.
It's a whole arena full of white t-shirts.
Yes. So, no, I didn't like the way that OKC looked. To me, like I said, I think it may have been a different outcome if Zion was playing. But look, it's game one. They're young. They weathered the storm, and we'll see what happens next game.
Okay. Y'all know we got to talk about the Knicks. They beat the Sixers 111-104. Are y'all ready to say, is this the Knicks year?
Sin City. Sin is going wild right now.
The whole city, bro.
Sin.
The whole city is going crazy.
Sin, you see, Killer got the Nick blue on with me.
Yeah. We been nicking it.
We were waiting for y'all to come around.
Yeah, we been fucking with the Knicks.
Time.
Yeah, y'all niggas just wasn't on point.
That's how New York niggas switch
yeah,
up.
Yeah, niggas be like,
said they been fans.
Yeah, we been fucking with the Knicks for years, nigga. How you think my nigga Ronnie Fee got the Kiff lever and all that, the Nick Kiff lever? I got a, first of all, I have his signature from the NBA and Mitchell and Ness Knicks diplomat joint jersey. Legit shit. Matter of fact, I'm wearing it. Wearing it on Casual Friday this week. I'm wearing my Knicks shit. I'm wearing my Knicks shit on Casual Friday. But look, to be totally honest, real quick about the game, because I know we're pressed for time.
Yeah.
Look, if Joel Embiid didn't get hurt, I don't know what would have happened. I don't know if the Knicks win that game. But look, he did get hurt. And I think this is a good sign for the Knicks because you end up winning that game and your best player, Jalen Brunson, didn't do very well. And think about that. When Jalen Brunson doesn't do well, he still has 22 points. That's nothing to sneeze at. So you sit there and he has 22 points. You say he doesn't play well and you still win. So if he plays better, this is an upside for the Knicks. Joel Embiid will not be 100%. Mase was calling this saying that they probably should sit him down.
Yeah, or he gonna get hurt again.
Yeah, well, he's already planning on playing game 2. Me, I'm not taking back what I said. Run it. The process ain't been processed. I don't know. I can't put them out there so they got to carry them out.
After this don't work, is Markelle Fultz. Let's remember, Ben Simmons and now Joel Embiid. Yeah. That was a lot of money wasted.
Yeah, now look, Joel Embiid, when he threw it off the backboard in the court, I said, oh, but he fucked his knee up on the play. I'm like, damn, if this nigga was available for all 48 minutes, cool. He was basically a decoy after that the rest of the game. But he said he's playing game 2, so we'll see how it goes. But I really believe the Knicks have the leverage here because Joel's not hurt. Jalen Brunson didn't play good, and they still pulled it off.
Okay, and the Timberwolves beat the Suns 120-95. Ant-Man was talking a whole lot of smack to his favorite player, Kevin Durant. Was this the outcome that you guys expected?
Yeah, I mean, I was expecting this, and shout out, I met this guy, Pause, from Minnesota. I lost my phone, so if you're watching this, just DM us. He said he wanted us to come to the Minnesota game. They was going to take care of everything for us to come watch Minnesota play. And shout out to Ant-Man. He turned his sneakers pink for you, Cam. Did you know that?
Oh, I didn't even pay attention to that. For me, or that was the company did.
I got sources.
Listen, nigga, you try to sound like you try to get me to go to Minnesota. Yeah, check the weather. That shit cold as fuck out there, big.
Nigga selfish was crazy.
Yeah,
man, change his sneakers pink.
Yeah, that sound like you need to go because you got the link for us.
Yeah, you told him change his sneakers. He listening.
Right.
But yeah, shout out to Minnesota. This is definitely a team to be reckoned with. They're young. It seems like they're really focused, and I hope they keep up what they're doing because that would be a great team to see against Denver. I don't think. Even though I love Kevin Durant as a player and Book, those are two of my favorite players. I just don't think if they run up against Denver, they could do anything with them. So I prefer to see Minnesota come out of that series.
To me, Ant-Man was the best player all weekend.
Yeah.
All weekend out of all the games. And that's why I said that, Murdo, when I said I was a little bit disappointed with OKC because I know it's variable pieces around. Of course, you got expertise with Mike Conley, Rudy Gobert, Cat. So Ant-Man has some good veterans around him to where SGA may not, but that's the comparison I was looking at.
Yeah.
What is SGA going to do after Ant-Man just did that?
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? So that was my, I don't know, SGA. I didn't like what, I'm seeing Ant-Man yesterday because y'all the two emerging to me. And when Ant-Man, listen, he was talking crazy to Kevin Durant, talking crazy to Bradley Beal. Connor was saying a little something to Devin Booker. Devin Booker didn't feed into it. Bradley Beal and Kevin Durant was laughing. I liked his attitude. I liked his tenacity. He went up and he wanted it more pause than anybody else this weekend to me. He was the MVP of this weekend to me personally. And it was I like that shit. I like that shit. So
Ant-Man definitely had MJ vibes this weekend.
Yeah.
Pause. He was looking like this my league.
Yeah. And he wanted it. You know, he didn't shy away from the moment. What I will say is this: it's hard to beat teams consistently. And Phoenix had won this series with Minnesota this season, and the playoffs are not the regular season. They beat them 3 times to Minnesota 0. There's 3-0 against Minnesota. So Minnesota came out and set a tone for the playoffs. I think the series is going to go based upon how the next game goes, being that Minnesota to me was like, nah, niggas ain't beating us 4 times in a row. So we'll see how it goes the next game. Like, you know, I like that about Minnesota because they said this won't be 4 times in a row, as opposed to the Lakers saying, okay, we haven't beat Denver since December 2022. It's been 8 losses in a row, and it turned into 9.
And the Cavs beat the Magic 97-83. Do you guys feel like people are overlooking the Cavs?
Yeah, they're definitely overlooking. I'm overlooking the Cavs.
You said I am. Not they. It's me.
I'm a part of the niggas overlooking the Cavs. You don't like it, do something about it, you know? Shout out to Donovan Mitchell and the other point guard, Garland, that's down there. They're doing exceptionally well. But I don't know. For some reason, I am overlooking them. I wanted the Magic to win. That's, you know, my underdog team that you see I got the Knick blue. But if the Magic win, it's Magic blue, you know? So it depends. The glasses is neutral. Then it's Denver blue, you know? All this is Title Town. Blue is a Title Town color. So I really want the Magic to win. But if Cleveland win out, you know, I'll wait till they lose. I wouldn't go to a Cleveland game.
Hey.
All right. I'm going to say I think people are overlooking the Cavaliers because Donovan Mitchell been hurt a pretty good portion of the season. And like, you know, they market superstars. So Donovan Mitchell, whether their record was decent enough to skip the play-in or not, and shout out to them for maintaining a decent enough record to make it to the playoffs and not to play without playing with Donovan Mitchell for a lot of games this season. A lot of credit to them. We'll see what happens. This is a series where I'm not going to downplay it, but it's not my favorite. So.
It is what it is. Literally. Okay. And then lastly, the Nuggets beat the Lakers 114-103. Do you guys think that the Lakers will be able to keep up?
Nah.
Dang.
They're going home. They're going home. They're going to get a much-needed rest, and then LeBron and AD could really have the talk they should have had all year. They're going home.
Yeah, the first half of that game, the Lakers looked good. And early in the third quarter, they made a few mistakes. LeBron seen them making the mistakes. I think D'Angelo Russell made a turnover. LeBron was like, come on, man. The momentum shift right there. And LeBron felt that the momentum was going to shift. But trying to outlast them players. See, what I think is this, and it might be too late for this season, Spencer Dinwiddie, the Lakers should be using him how Denver uses Caldwell Pope. And he got there in the second half of the season, so it's hard to fit him in a rotation or figure out what's going on because you have Austin Reeves or Contavious, whatever.
What do you mean by the way they use him?
So I think that, to me, Spencer Dinwiddie, is not getting a lot of minutes. He doesn't start. And I believe that Darwin Ham already has his lineup. Like, they'll put him in when niggas need a rest or when they have a bigger lead or when they need to maintain. He's not really part of the rotation.
Yeah.
And what I'm saying is I think he could be just as good for the Lakers as Caldwell Pope is to Denver.
Mm-hmm.
It may be too late in the season for them to figure that out chemistry-wise, but I believe he's that good of a player that he should be getting more minutes with the Lakers. But as far as the Lakers sustaining anything in this series, no. I give them a game.
Oh, y'all heard it here first, but that is all the time that we have for today. Glad that we're all back in the studio.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's lit. Okay.
Killer, I was supposed to ask you something.
This is where
No, it's good. It's a good question. It's a good question. They want to know.
We'll get it top of the show, the next one. All right,
Hey,
y'all.
what you got?
Spared you. Spared you.
I already know it's a lie. You're trying to lie me.
Nigga trying to lie. Ex-Cam.
I know you was trying to lie me already. I knew. I see you when you
We'll
stroll.
see you next time.
Yes. Thanks for watching, and as always, it is what it is.
I'll be on point all week. I know.